Welcome to the Conscious Investor. Let's get started. Well, I love having people from around the globe on the podcast. It is extraordinary. And so I'm going to introduce our guest, and then let's give them a moment to just even guess your origin, like what country you're from. So, Kriss, I'd love to welcome you to the Conscious Investor.
G'day, mate.
Tell us.
Probably good. Another ship on the body.
That's right. Go get me a lorry, will you? Oh, wait, I just went to the whole wrong continent. So sorry. So Kriss is joining me, and it's going to be fun. So those of you who love accents, because let's just face it, people love accents from around the globe, but he's not in Australia. You are in Saigon, which is very
That's true. I haven't lived in Australia for, 16, 17 years, so quite some time. Lived in Europe for a bunch of years, and then, in fact, this is the 10th country I've lived in, but I've been here for a very long time now. So I floated around the world, and then eventually, fell in love, got married, made a bunch of babies, and now anchored down. Although I'm trying to convince my wife in a few years to move back to Europe, because Europe's really cool. But yeah, we live in Saigon in Vietnam, where if you like it hot and sweaty, then this is a great place to live.
Sign me up right now. I love all the hot and humid. It makes me so happy, but I live in the cold. And so Kriss and I were talking off air, and you could probably already tell we're kindred spirits in that we like to have fun, because Kriss is already like acting goofy with his like, good day, mate. I love it. Right. So we're going to have fun on this podcast, this today and always. But, a lot of people are not having fun with Kriss. They're not having fun with their websites. They're not having fun getting people to their websites, and they're just not having fun. Like, that's not fun when your business is not thriving. So would you mind just by the time we're done with this episode, I would love to lead people to fun and satisfaction. But before we go there, why don't we get a little background on you so they have context?
Yeah, sure. A much smarter man than me, Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, he said, revenue cures all problems. And it's so true. Like, you got money coming in, all of your other business problems just fade away. Business is about money. You can buy your way out of trouble, and it just makes it fun. I have not always been there. Like, I'm a software engineer. That's my trade. I finished university in Australia. I moved to London to work in finance. I worked for lots of big banks. I made billionaires more money. Life was great. I was in my 20s. Had Europe as my playground. I thought, man, my ego was as big as the sun. I'm like, life is great. It can't get any better than this. I'm making so much money. I'm invincible. Then the 2008 global financial crisis came around.
The what? What happened? Something happened in 2008?
Disintegrated. Exactly. I lost my job. Everyone I knew lost their job. There was no jobs to be had. I went back to Australia with my tail between my legs. I'm like, great. I think I was 28 at the time, and I'm like, my career's over. What the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life? This sucks. And, it's kind of good. It was very humbling. I started dabbling online. I built a website. I worked out what SEO was. I went, wow, that's a lot of fun. And, started doing it. Went, man, this is valuable for other people. But I ended up, I knew nothing about business. I knew how to build websites and rank them. And I ended up, what a lot of entrepreneurs do is build yourself a page. I built myself a job that I could never get away from. I had worked weekends. I worked, huge hours all the time. I was stressed all the time, because you don't have a business. I'd be doing some lead generation. I'd do some sales. Then you have to fulfill those orders. And so the leads stop coming because you're working on the orders. And then, you have to go back here and get some more leads coming in to go to sales, and then the work stops, and it's just chaos and madness, and you're working your ass off, and you can never take a break, and there's never enough money, and you're like, geez, I just made a sale to pay for the last bit of work, and
and where's the money?
Wow, where's the money? Why am I working so freaking hard and I'm not making any money? It sucks. 2 books that really changed my life, both by the same author, Mike Michalowicz.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So seriously, I was literally, look at that. I'm like, totally, do you see, I'm like the biggest fan of his. And as you were talking,
I could just see the title of that one right there. Profit First. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
Everybody,
first. You need to read Profit First if you are
read Profit First.
Stop being a slave to your business. Yeah.
Because I didn't know about business, and a business is about making money. If it's not profitable, why the hell are you doing it? I feel like such an idiot saying it, but say we'd sell someone $1,000 worth of services. I'd go, great, now we got $1,000 to do this work. And it's like, and you'd spend that $1,000 doing that work. And it's like, there's no money left over. What are you going to live on, dude? Like, what's the point of doing this work? And, Mike just explains it in a simple way that you go, cool, this is finance for dummies. And we even use a Profit First accountant now to do our books, and it's great. Work with professionals to get your stuff done. Don't do it yourself.
100%.
But he's got another book, which I think's even more powerful. Go for it.
Let me guess, because the other book that I absolutely adore of his is The Pumpkin Plan.
It's not. It's another book of his that I absolutely adore called Clockwork.
I'm like, he has like 5 or 6 books. So, I mean,
he's got a lot of books. In fact, he just made a new one, a kid's book, which I should probably get. It's like Profit First for Kids. It's an animated child's book. But Clockwork is about how to design a business that doesn't revolve around you. And that is the book that helped free me from having a crappy job that I couldn't walk away with, to having a business that actually supports my life. Gives me freedom to do the things that I like doing. Like as I was telling you before, I got up early this morning. I got up about 3 a.m. to do a webinar at 4 a.m. I'm the opposite time zone of the US. And so we did 4 p.m. Eastern, we did a webinar, which is 4 a.m. my time. I got a newborn baby, so I don't sleep anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Okay, I just lost all sympathy, but that's just going to explain why you and I are both probably going to have so much fun on this podcast episode, because I told you I've recorded about 6 hours of podcasts today between being on other podcasts and doing my own, and so I'm like, oh yeah, it's the end of the day for both of us, and we're like, we're giving each other the best, showing up. High fives to you, Kris.
But by having an actual business that has processes, allows me to do the bits that I like doing. We've got a killer website that generates us lots of traffic and actually generates us leads. It fills up our pipeline. So, in fact, if you go to our website's Ardor SEO. If you can't tell from my funny accent, Ardor means to do something with a fiery passion, and spelled ARDOR, SEO.com. You'll see what's called a lead magnet, which is our review funnel. And it's a really cool funnel. We get a lot of traffic, so we can't just talk to everyone, right? We need to vet the people that we want to speak with. Are they good leads? If I spoke to everyone, I'd be on the phone all day long, and they're not people that are going to give us money, so I don't want to talk to them. And so we have what's called a Tripwire product. It's a whopping $7. So if you go to through our review funnel, you'll see, you put in your name and email, and then we go, cool, buy a video review. It's $7. And if someone doesn't want to invest $7, it's not someone I want to talk to. And it's great, because when people pay, they pay attention. So when someone has given us $7, man, that's a really good lead. And so then we'll make a video. So we'll look at their website and go, hey, this is how many people are searching for, whatever you do in your area. If you're a real estate agent, this is how many people are searching for homes for sale in Miami or whatever it is. This is how many investors are searching for multifamily syndication in your area. And these are some simple things that you can fix with their website. Show them, what we do, and explain to them, this is the value that you can achieve. And this is, the kind of costs that are involved in that, and how long you can expect before you're going to be making any money. Because, SEO, building a website, does take time. And so then...
Wait, we got to pause. We got to pause right there and say, because if I was listening and the host didn't ask, I'd be frustrated. So about how much time, because what I'm about ready, I'm thinking a certain number of a period of time in my head. So you said it does take time, because it does. You have to let it season and all that. So what kind of time frame, if you just came and reviewed my website, blah, 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 what kind of time frame am I looking at before you can show me the money?
The big answer, well, it depends.
I just hung up the phone. No kidding.
Let me break that down. So Google hates new websites. They don't trust anyone new. And that's the hardest thing, is building up your trust with Google. And that takes time. The best thing you can do is, if you don't have a domain name, go and register it today and go get it indexed. Just letting it sit there, even if you do nothing with it for a year, that will help. If you buy a website today, it's going to be really hard to rank tomorrow, because Google does not trust you. They have what's called a sandbox, because there's lots of scammers out there, right? The internet economy is growing and growing and growing. The best time to build a website was 10 years ago. Next best time is today, because 10 years time from now, the internet economy is going to be so much bigger than it is today.
Right.
But Google will put you in a sandbox, and it'll take time to get out of that till they trust you. And so one of the main things that Google does is domain authority. That's really, really important. So, because they can't implicitly trust what you say, they trust what everyone else is saying about you. And they do that by who's linking to you. I guest a lot on podcasts, especially real estate related podcasts, because we work a lot in real estate. And it's great, for one, because, well, you're getting your message in front of your ideal customer right now to all these beautiful people listening, but also you're going to link to me, and that backlink of you linking back to my website, Google sees that and goes, well, Kriss must be pretty cool. And he must know about real estate, because he's got all these real estate people linking to him. So we'll trust him and we'll let him rank. And that's really how you rank in Google. And that takes time. So even that being said, we make money by making our clients money. And the more money that we get them to make, the more money they can spend with us. And so we want to get people making money as quickly as possible. And so depending on where you are is what keywords we'll focus on. So a good example is one of our clients who they buy distressed houses. So they want to rank for sell my house fast type keywords. And they focus on California. And so, sell my house fast, San Francisco, sell my house fast, Los Angeles, really competitive, high search volume keywords. Yet their website was brand new. They bought the domain when they started working with us. So we're not going after those keywords because they're too competitive. We built them content about every little pokey town in California. The search volume's not high, but it's so easy to rank. And the cost of building one page on their website to rank for Bakersfield or even smaller cities in California, it's really easy to rank. And it's the more precise a page is that it's about that pokey little town, the better it converts. Because if you're in pokey little town and you sell my house fast and you arrive on a page that's exactly about that, you go, wow, this guy knows where I'm at. It's going to convert really, really well too. So there's always some quick wins to focus on. But the other thing you can do is use Google Ads or AdWords. This is where Google makes all of their money. That's the paid search. So if you search, homes for sale in any city or, pretty much any real estate term, you'll see ads at the top. That's essentially an auction. Whoever, gives Google the most money goes to the top. It's a bit more complicated than that, but that's essentially it. It can get really expensive really fast and you can burn through money. But, as long as you optimize the campaign, you can get it set up pretty fast and you can get leads coming in. In fact, one of our newer clients, they're an e-commerce website and they sell other people's stuff. And man, they are making so much money with Google Ads. We keep maxing out their credit cards because they're getting a really good return on it, but they have a 90-day pay period. So they sell the products and they don't get paid for 90 days. And so every time that they get paid, we can increase the budget, and why not? You just increase it to the moon. You spend 10 grand, you make 30 grand. Well, then spend 30 grand next month. Like, why not? Just keep turning it up until as high as it goes. And that's the beauty with Google Ads. You can get it set up and working instantly. Of the search traffic, though, only about 15% of people click on ads. So you're missing out on the vast majority of the traffic. On a high competitive keyword, there'll be about 4 ads at the top. There might even be some ads at the bottom. And all of those ads put together get about 15% of the clicks. The number one, organic, so the free search results, there's 10 search results there. They all get a very different amount of clicks. The number one search result gets on average 33% of the clicks. 33% of the traffic goes to the number one. So that's a whooping amount. So, so to answer your question, it really depends. What's your market? How competitive it is? The more valuable a keyword is, generally the harder and longer it's going to take, because there's already other people that are going for it. If you're in a niche with no competition, it's probably a crappy niche. It's like there's no one working in your market. It's probably because there isn't a market.
Right.
Unless you're like Elon Musk that's building rockets to Mars, like someone else has been there before.
Wow. Okay. That is so much amazing information to digest. It made, it's leading me to this question, as a multifamily investor and apartment syndicator, it's very niched down, but people are looking for investments and investment strategies. Many of my listeners who are also multifamily investors would love to have people coming for their passive investments to their sites, and so they feel maybe a little caged in because it's like, well, how do I reach these people? What are they searching for? So can we just back up a second and say, how do we even find out what they're searching for?
So that's the way you need to start. This is why most web designers suck, right? They'll build you a $20,000 website that makes you zero money. For one, a website shouldn't cost that much to start with. But
thank you.
Web designers, they go to design school. They don't focus on sales and marketing. So that's why most websites suck. You need to start with understanding who's your ideal customer. What is it that they're searching for? Because they're often searching for a problem. You're not knowing that you're the solution to it. It's like a crappy business coach will say, what's the biggest problem with your business? It's like, well, if I knew it, I'd fix it. In fact, another one of Mike McCallard's books, Fix This Next, is about trying to analyze and find the problem with your business so that you can work out how to fix it, understanding what the problem is. So, a really good keyword for multifamily syndication companies, generally the minimum investment's $50,000, right? So a really good keyword, and you can all go home and use this one yourself.
Get your papers ready.
How to invest $50,000. Because you can be pretty damn sure that someone that's going to Google and typing how to invest $50,000, they probably got 50 grand in their pocket that they want to invest, right? So it's a super awesome keyword. We've already done all the keyword research around every level, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. There's a lot less people searching how to invest $500,000 than 50. But again, those people have 500 grand that they want to invest. Right. That's your accredited investor right there. What a valuable keyword. And isn't it better to work with one person with 500 grand than 10 people with 50? It's a whole lot easier. So you need, I love the saying, if you charge twice as much, you only need half as many customers. And so it's the same thing. Like, have a handful of these guys and boom, you've financed your deal. So the process of building a high converting sales funnel is, one, work out your ideal customer and what they're searching for, how to invest $50,000. You get them to the page, you have a nice article. It needs to be really good content that it goes, here's 10 different ways you can bet on Bitcoin and it'll be 100,000 tomorrow and $2 the next day. Do you want some stability in your life? And you go, well, great. So multifamily, this is why it's a great reason. So download our guide. So now you need asking people to book a call with you, it's just too aggressive. I don't know you. I don't trust you. I don't want to like spend an hour of my time getting sold on your thing.
Whereas, as my friend would say, I'm not ready to marry you. Jeez,
exactly. Exactly. You need to think of a website very much of like dating. If you're asking some person that's walking down the street, do you want to marry me? They're going to get out of here, crazy person.
Right, exactly.
And that's exactly someone that's arrived on your website. They don't know you. They don't trust you. They've read one article and they're like, yeah, this is all right. But if you have, a nice pop-up or a soft call to action that says, hey, download our guide, and the more relevant it is to what that person was just reading, the better it's going to convert. So if someone was just on a newbie type article, how to invest $50,000, that person doesn't know much about investing. So download our guide about the 5 biggest mistakes people make when getting started with investing. Yeah. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, I don't know much about investing. I'll download that. And they download it. And yeah, you have some really good content. They're like, wow, this person really knows what they're talking about. But now they're in your sales funnel. And that's your website's done now. It's done its job. All the website is designed to do is get in front of people and then convert them and get them on your list. There's an old saying, the money is in the list, and it so is. And that's another beauty with a website over using Facebook or YouTube, whatever. You own them on your list. They're your customer. They're not Facebook's anymore.
Okay, let's speak to that for a second, because a lot of people, including so I was not a believer in the whole list. And then I started listening to a podcast that is really helpful. And it just kept nudging me. I'm like, okay, I need to get a list. I need to be building my list and being strategic about this list and not being obnoxious with my emails. But oh my gosh, if you are listening right now, those of you listening, I'm like, wait a second, you are listening. Kriss, you're listening, right? Okay. Wait, I mean, the power of that list is exponential. Like the click-through rate and the open rate. I just sent something out to people I just met this weekend. I have like a 46% open rate right now. That means those people are looking at they're engaging with me now. And that gives me better opportunity to develop that relationship and do business with them. Sorry, exactly. I'm a convert into email lists. So you can
you get someone to like your Facebook page or subscribe to your YouTube channel. It's like as if they're going to see anything you post on Facebook anyway. Facebook wants to just show ads. And YouTube, even if they start watching a video, then YouTube goes, hey, you want to watch this cat video? Oh, yeah, cool. Off I go over to there. And they've disappeared. Where like once they're on your list, it's like called permission marketing, as Seth Godin says to it. They've given you permission to market to them. And you need to respect them. You can't just keep spamming them crap, like otherwise they're going to leave.
We all know that. We've all done it. We've all said, you're spam, get out of my life.
Yeah, exactly. But you respect them. They download your guide and they're like, wow, these guys really know what they're talking about. And then you have a nice email sequence. Hey, listen to me on this podcast. Look at this case study of other people that we've helped. Here's some, user testimonials, and you start educating them towards what they do. And so by the time they're ready to book a call with you, they already understand what you do. They understand that you're going to ask them for $50,000. It's like, because you don't want to be talking to some cold person and you're like, yeah, cool. This is the deal we have. Yeah, give me $50K. And they're like, $50K? Are you crazy? I don't have $50K. Right? And so you just wasted an hour of your time. Where if you've educated them and they understand that the minimum investment is already this, by the time they've booked a call with you, it's like, yeah, cool, here's my money, dude. You're building up your trust and authority.
Oh my gosh. I love this. Gosh, I'm just loving this. It's so important. And I just want to reiterate something when it comes to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of those platforms. If those people are not on your list, let's just be real. They can shut you down. They can silence you. They can censor you. They can do whatever they want. And you just lost all of your following. Done. You're out and you're starting from ground zero. So it's like, the importance of building that list. Okay. So we have this great website. We're using really great keywords. We've got the good funnels and that is in place. What next? besides
So
be
let me give you an example of the compounding value of investing in your own website. So two of our clients, one of them's quite brand new. He's a real estate agent in Atlanta. He's on track to sell about 400 homes this year. 400 homes. He's
new agent selling 400 homes, people. That's a big deal.
He's doing okay, but he still buys the majority of his leads from Zillow. He's going to cut Zillow a check this year for almost $1 million. Like, that's a big chunk of his revenue going to Zillow, his competition, that makes them bigger and stronger, and he's relying on them. Where over the next year, he'll invest maybe $50,000, $60,000 with us, and we'll generate him the same amount of leads. That's like $900,000 in savings in his pocket.
Right.
I'll give you an example of an amazing woman that works with us, Avery Carl. She's one of the top 100 agents in the US. When she started with us in 2019, she had $53 million in sales, which is a hell of a lot more than most agents ever do. Yeah. But in 2020, last year, she sold $158 million. So $53 million to $158 million. And I have the most beautiful email that she sent to me is, hiring more agents and hiring you guys are the only things we did different. Wow. And this year, she's on track to sell 800 homes, like $400 million. So in 2 years, she's gone from 53 million to 400 million. Like, what an awesome growth rate, And if she was to buy those leads from Zillow, it'd cost $2 million. Right. And she owns everything. That's her. If she stopped working with us, her website still ranks like crazy. It's not going to go away overnight. It just sits there and makes her money. But, it's like, what an awesome investment. You use Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever. You have to keep paying. Where SEO, I hope that Avery just keeps wanting to grow with us forever. But if she decides not to, it just keeps on paying for itself. It's like that's the power of SEO. It's the best investment you can ever make in your business.
Okay, so what do the naysayers say? What are some of the people? What are your typical conflicting points when people are like, well, no, because what do people usually?
Well, really, it's that they don't understand the power of a website. Because a lot of businesses have websites and they suck. They don't generate any business. The vast majority. Ahrefs, this industry authority tool, they did an analysis of over 1 billion pieces of content. They found over 90% of content gets zero traffic from Google. People write articles all day long and Google doesn't give a crap about it. People don't even know how to measure whether their content's getting seen. And so, if you don't have a strategy like this, then you're going to be wasting so much effort. It's the lack of knowledge. It's like, someone working in real estate, you'd be crazy to try and buy a house without a real estate agent, right? Like, trying to do it yourself. And this is what I try and remind agents that we work with is people aren't doing this every day. They don't buy a house every day. Yeah. They don't know the process. It becomes so second nature to you that you forget that people don't know what they're doing. Same with multifamily, right? You just you start throwing around acronyms like everyone knows what they are. It's like, remember you were green one time too. You need to speak to your customers like that. And it's the same with the website. People just don't know what they are. Even the webinar that I had earlier today, Craig Curlip was the team, the FI team, and they have a pretty big brand. They work with Bigger Pockets, and his website, it sucks with organic SEO. Everything is branded. All of the traffic comes from people searching his name, which it's fantastic that he has so many people that know him and are searching his name, but that's not SEO. Like, if someone's searching the conscious investor, they know you. But if someone's searching how to invest $50,000, that's the people that you want to get your message in front of. Right. So that's the big difference of understanding that and getting in front of this huge market of people that have no idea who you are.
Right. Oh my goodness. I love it. It's so like, this is pivotal stuff. It does come down to, you don't know what you don't know. And for some reason, people simply, I find, don't choose to often invest. They skimp when it comes to these critical components of their business, where they think, oh no, it's fine, it looks good, or they'll fill in whatever, and they don't even understand. It's like, here's a better way of putting it. An analogy would be, oh, I go to the used car lot, and there's this car and it looks perfect and it's beautiful, and I buy it. I didn't test drive it. I go to turn the ignition on. There's nothing under the hood. Yeah, it looks good, but it's not going to move. It's not going to drive you anywhere. It's not going to do anything for you other than be aesthetically beautiful.
Yeah. And I love the saying, beautiful websites don't sell things, words sell things. But you need to get those words in front of people. It's like a business card, right? You can have the most beautiful business card in the world. If it's sitting in your desk drawer, it's not going to do crap. Where even the ugliest business card it'll do great if you're handing it out to the right people with the right message. That's what's really important. You need to be getting that in front of people consistently. You need new people coming into your pipeline all the time. Like back when we were starting out and we had a smaller pipeline, so you're chasing leads all the time. You're like, hey, we spoke to you, why aren't you buying my stuff? Why aren't we working together? When you've got constant lead flow, it's like, I don't care, dude. Come watch our webinar, come look at our stuff. If you don't buy, whatever, because we got more people coming through, and it just takes the pressure off. It's like, you can screw something up. It's like, whatever. I'm still not the best businessman in the world. Thankfully I've got a great team that handle all that stuff. I don't have to do it. I get to focus on what I like doing, which is, doing podcasts like this, doing webinars, doing our own marketing. That's what I find fun. And when you got good lead flow coming in through, that's what you get to do too. If you're a multifamily guy, you get to go and look on new properties. You don't have to be trying to wring every last dollar out of every lead you have, because there's new leads coming through, man.
I love
and having that confidence even helps you sell more too, because you're like, I don't really need your money, dude. Like, it's okay.
Yep. Yeah. You're not coming off like, please, you're not desperate. It's a very different scenario.
A month or two ago, we even fired a client. It was really someone that was hassling our staff, just wanting. It's often the lower paying people that want the most, and it's
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's That's like, man, you do not pay enough to be like expecting this kind of service and being this rude. Like, it's not. Life's too short to be stressed with you, dude. Dear.
Yeah. Yep.
Enjoy your work.
and I'm all about, everyone knows, enjoy your work, serve the world, and work with people you love.
Indeed.
At least you need to like them, and enjoy their company.
Like working with like Avery, who I mentioned, like, she is such a rock star and just such a pleasant woman to work with, and inspiring. Like, she just released a new book. In fact, if you want to learn about short-term investments, like, it's published by Bigger Pockets. Like, having the opportunity to work with cool people like that, every time you speak to her, you're like, Avery, you're amazing. Like, that's just so much fun, and gives me so much energy and makes me want to do better work.
Oh, absolutely. Kriss, this has been a lot of fun. I love your energy. I love your passion, because I happen to be a fellow passionate person about things I believe in, if you didn't notice. What would you say? Final words as we, wind down the show for today.
That, I hope you understand the power of digital marketing a little bit more, and why investing in your own website is just the best return that you're ever going to get. And you should have started it 10 years ago, but it's not too late. The internet economy in 10 years' time is going to be so much bigger than it is today, like bigger than any of us can imagine, I'm sure. There's probably going to be AI robots, ruling us, or we'll be in the metaverse if Mark Zuckerberg gets his way. But, websites are still going to be really, 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 really valuable.
Best real estate. Okay. Yeah, actually, virtual real estate. In fact, I saw something recently where they actually sold the first piece of like virtual real estate recently somewhere.
Too much for me. Yeah. I'm keeping our nose.
Yeah, right. I'm not investing in that yet. Kris, best place once again, and we'll put the links in the show notes, but best place for people to, connect up with your website.
So you can go to Google and you can type in the coolest guy in SEO. And man, if you don't see me, then Google's broken and I should be fired. But I'm pretty sure you'll see my pretty face. But other than that, you can go to ardorseo.com, get yourself a video review for a whooping $7, and just see how many people are searching in your market for your ideal customer, and we'll help you predictably grow your business.
I love it. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate this is important content because it is investing in, you can't grow your business if you're simply trying to, stay behind this. You put the money into the website, make the website work. So yeah, that's amazing. All right, Kris, you're awesome. Thank you for your time. And to all my amazing guests who are guests, you can all tell it's the end of the day. And Julie is talked out. Apparently, I didn't know it was possible. But anyhow, to all you amazing listeners out there, live big and love bigger. Feeling alone? Disconnected? Conscious investors often feel alone or disconnected because of their unique perspective and desire to expand their thinking. But the journey of a lifetime isn't meant to be solo or forged by grit alone. Join the Conscious Investor community on Facebook. Link arms, exchange ideas, and expand your thinking on finances, relationship, and community. Join the Conscious Investor group on Facebook today.